Thank you.
So my question is a two-parter. It starts off with, there's a part in the book where you mention the idea of creating purpose-driven outcomes. And you talk about how when you ask the students, so what is your desired outcome? And they say, we want justice, we want better schools, and we want police accountability. And so when you ask them, I got you, but can you identify specifics? And things get blurry. And you say that to cultivate clarity, we have to get unambiguous about the goals and to be explicit about the outcomes that we want to achieve. So here at CSL, we have a global heart vision that says such things as we create communities where all people and all beings and all life are treated, honored, and celebrated as expressions of God. So, as an organization of ministers, spiritual practitioners, educators, and leaders, how, in your invitation, how do we develop clarity about that? How do we get explicit about those outcomes and those goals? And then the second part is, how do we address the pushback from those who do not like change?
I don't pretend to know every nuance of the answers, but I do want to say that, clarity comes from when the dust settles, that clarity comes from quietness and solitude. When I ask my students this question, one of the ways that we can get clarity is, what would I see? What would I feel when I enter into the space of what you're trying to create? Specifically, would I be embraced and hugged? Will I shake someone's hand? Will somebody hand me a sheet of paper? So when I work with my students around the specifics, I ask them to close their eyes and get quiet first. And then I ask them, what does it look like? Take me through your day of justice. When you wake up in the morning, what would you see on TV? Where would you buy your coffee? Who would greet you? Where would you drop your children off? I mean, I really get specific and ask them to visualize that day of justice or that day of whatever it is they're trying to create. That allows for clarity about the outcome, and that practice over time, consistently engaging in the visualization of the thing, like what would I see, touch, smell, and feel as a result of your activity. And then get quiet with that, and that allows for the students to then settle a little bit, to then begin to name the thing in ways that are actionable. Change is always hard, and change is hard for everybody, for me as well, right? And I think that for me, by creating a compelling possibility, a compelling possible future that enrolls people, right? How are you enrolling people in that possible compelling future? Some ways can mitigate, right? Some ways can mitigate this notion of, I don't like this change, right? When people are enrolled in that compelling future. And that's just about inclusion, including folks to have and create that compelling vision. And this is why I say the pivots, Reverend, they're braided together, right? Because to have possibility thinking and to sort of disrupt our notion that our jobs as leaders and spiritual leaders, as educators, are to only solve problems, you also have to have, you have to divorce yourself from hustle. And you also have to cultivate transformative relationships. And so these are braided together so that they all support each other as we move forward.